Hello everyone, welcome back to Football United TV. I'm Maisy.
And I'm Matt, and this is La Ligue des Champions. Yes, everybody, welcome back to La Ligue des Champions. I'm back with Maisy again, who's just been on a beautiful holiday in the Faroes, right, in Portugal. Yep. How was it?
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And my skin is very, very tanned. As you can probably tell, I look like a completely different person.
You're radiating a glow for me. I'm actually getting tanned speaking to you. That's how tanned
you should see how tan my legs and arms are.
Yeah. You got white marks, have you, Maisy? You got white marks?
Literally, I've got a milk bottle belly, right? Even my chest is tanned, but not my belly. And my belly looks like the same as what I used to. So I'm looking at my belly, okay, and then looking everywhere else. Like,
you forgot that you had your beers that was blocking the belly part. That's why.
Oh, it was all my cocktails.
Oh, there you go. What a terrific Champions League we've had this week, Maisy. And the quarterfinals overall been exceptional. I know you're watching them out there. You said the bar had all the games on at the same time, pretty much so. Perfect for you and your holiday. What did you make of the first game that we're going to talk about, which, of course, is Bayern Munich and VILLAREAL? And I think we said last time, didn't we? Can't see VILLAREAL getting anything out of this. And they did. We got the shock result, and they went through 2-1. What did you make of this result for them going through to the semis and Bayern Munich as well? I mean, wasn't a very good performance from them, really. A great goal from Lewandowski gave them a bit of hope, but unfortunately, right at the end there, their substitute for VILLAREAL, I believe, came on in the 87th minute and scored a crucial goal.
Maybe you might agree with this, but I feel like Bayern Munich came into this game for me a bit too comfortable, and it felt like there was maybe they underestimated VILLAREAL. We've seen the stats of VILLAREAL; they've only lost 2 out of 8 games in Europe, and the only 2 games were actually against us. So to come into that, and that's including your Europa League final, you've won that. You've won against Atalanta. You've won against Young Boys. You've won here against other teams, but you weren't even expecting. Bayern Munich, I thought, done deal, because I automatically expected Bayern Munich to get to the final alongside Real Madrid. That was my prediction final. And to do this, I think it's absolutely incredible, bringing the hopes alive there for VILLAREAL fans. This is actually the first semi-final, I believe, since 2004, 5, 6, and that was with Arsenal. So to have that achievement, to break records, you've got to hold your hands up there to Unai Emery, and I think he's an absolute underrated manager for me. Well done there to VILLAREAL. Do the next job and knock out Liverpool.
Oh, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it, to see the Yellow Submarines go into the home of the Beatles and beating them. That'd be lovely. Look, I think, you're right about Emery. I think the setup that he's got at VILLAREAL really does suit him. He's got players that he can gel into a great team, and they are a great team. You've got ex-Arsenal players in there. You've got ex-Tottenham players in there, and he's using them to their best abilities, and they play for him. You can see it in them, the passion at the end of the game as well. They wanted to win. They wanted to get through to the semi-finals more than Bayern Munich, I felt. What do you think about Bayern Munich? What's happening now? I know Julian Nagelsmann's obviously been booted out, hasn't he? So what's
he's left.
I think he has. I think
I
he's
didn't
been
know
sacked.
this.
I think he's been sacked. Don't credit. I did see. I haven't looked up anything, but I did overhear something about him not being there anymore.
Oh yeah, I can see here the fans are calling him to be sacked.
Right, so he's under fire anyway, and it looks like it
Yeah.
might happen. This is why I thought with the Man United situation, maybe just hold out, because I know he was on the radar as well. But what's happening at Bayern Munich, Maisie? Why are they slipping?
It's an hard one for me because you do look. I rate Nagelsmann as a manager. For me, I think he's probably the best young manager about. The way he plays, his kind of attacking football, it's something what any team can really rely on. But I feel like with this Bayern Munich team, I think it's quite aging for me. I think a lot of it is coming down to relying on the individual brilliance of Lewandowski. You look at Alphonso Davies, he was brilliant a couple of seasons ago, and I don't know what's happened to him anymore. He doesn't seem the player that he used to be. Bayern Munich's defence doesn't seem like the Bayern Munich defence from 2020 and before. The goalkeeper for Bayern Munich, he's even getting on as well. And there's some of these players who are at Bayern Munich are actually older than Nagelsmann. Would you like to? If you was a player, would you want to take orders off a manager who's younger than you?
I mean, like I'm not that sort of person. I would anyway. Like I'm not ageist.
Of course, but
I know a lot of people do for football players as well, like who have done it and that they know what they're doing. Like I can understand them looking at it and going, well, maybe this guy doesn't know more than me. I've been playing longer than he has been coaching. So like I understand that, but you get that a lot, though, don't you? I mean, Eddie Howe had the same situation, didn't he, at Bournemouth? I believe he was pretty young when he was there, and there was players that were older, and it seemed to work. So, yeah, it depends on the player, I think, personally. And I think Lewandowski, like you say as well, a high-profile player might not necessarily like being told how to play from someone younger. So, yeah, I can agree with you on that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here, and a lot of the Bayern Munich fans are quite unhappy with the substitutes that Nagel made, and they are calling him to be sacked because they're saying it's basically a suicide substitute. But when you are literally at that 1-0, you need to be a bit more smarter in terms of that. Yes, maybe you want to put a defender on to help in terms of the clean sheet. However, you can never be too comfortable in terms of the Ags, because the Ags were 1-1 at that point. So you knew that you needed to be smart and you needed to put attacking players on. And maybe Nagelsmann just didn't really realise that.
Yeah, no, agreed. And if you watch the goal and the winning goal for Villarreal, they cut straight through the middle of Bayern Munich, and they were literally on like practically a 3-on-2 situation. It was a great cross as well, and a kind of perfect finish. But I know it divoted off the ground to go over New. It was, but that was the thing. I think they took their minds off of what was going on. You know what I mean? And for Villarreal to cut through him like that, very well done. Like you said, I think Emery's just a master magician on tactics, really. When he is. I mean, I know Arsenal fans will probably disagree with me, but he's proven time and time again, isn't he? So brilliant from them. What about this game, Maisie? Cracking game this was. Honestly, I thought Chelsea were home and dry. But a beautiful ball from Modric to Rodrigo, right at the very death there of the 90 minutes, and then Real Madrid go on to win it with a Benzema header. What did you make of this game? It was a beautiful game to see, and it really was a good advertisement for the Champions League and why it's adored around the world.
Yeah, I'm going to start with this, the first game in particular, because Chelsea was actually down 3-0, and I was like, nah, that's it. Bye, Chelsea. I thought it was funny. Like, come on, you find it funny. And and you look at it and you think Real Madrid played absolutely brilliant. Benzema, Vinny Jr., Modric, Casemiro. They've got a load of brilliant players there at Real Madrid. Maybe they are aging, but it doesn't matter for me on the age of the team, because you can say, right, this one's got an average of 24, this one's got an average of 36.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter on that. If you work together, it works. And this is the thing with Real Madrid. Their team is a bit like Bayern Munich to the respect its aging. But the difference is between the Real Madrid and Bayern Munich team, they know how to work together and they know how to put a shift in. I could have argued about that last season in terms of Real Madrid, but it feels like Ancelotti knows what he's doing to get the best out of this team.
Right,
it feels like he knows how to get good results from this team, and that is exactly what he's doing. You can see that in La Liga, you're seeing that in the Champions League. And I really think Ancelotti wants something to prove. After the disastrous spell at both Napoli and Everton, he's wanting to come into this Real Madrid team and think, right, I'm going to be a short-term manager here. I already know this, but I want to get the best. He's never won La Liga, so he's going to want to do that because he's won the league everywhere else apart from La Liga. And I think he'll want to win the Champions League because Ancelotti is known as Mr. Champions League in terms of managers. So I think that's what he wants to do. He wants to prove it, both the La Liga and the Champions League. First leg, brilliant. Second leg, Chelsea come out with such good fight. Werner, Mason Mount. Them two players in particular for me were ones what really stood out.
Hey, Rudiger as well, right? Rudiger was great in defense, right?
He was a brilliant Rudiger. The thing is, though, for me in terms of Chelsea, what let him down was Thomas Tuchel in terms of his substitutes. I think he made a wrong choice in putting Pulisic on. Because I feel like it really did damage their play, and that is when we see Real Madrid.
Was it Werner that he took off for Pulisic?
Yeah, Werner, who I actually would argue was
Yeah, it's a strange decision.
Yeah, and they was the ones who I would Werner for me was arguably my player of the match for Chelsea at that point. To put Pulisic on to, I say, arguably ruin the tempo of Chelsea, I think it was a very wrong move there from Thomas Tuchel, and I think that he did overthink his substitutes in that way. Is that maybe lack of trusting in Werner? I don't know.
But maybe, yeah. And do you know what? Just to go on that, Maisy, because Ancelotti was talking about his tactics. He took off Cruz and brought on Rodrigo.
Yeah.
And it paid off. Like, he could obviously see there was something wrong in the midfield there. Maybe Cruz was tiring, like you said about the age gap between him, Benzema and Modric. They are the older generation. He bought him off. You could see he was struggling a little bit, and it just gave this burst of new energy for Real Madrid to finish off the game, didn't it?
Yeah, it completely did. I agree with that 100%. Rodrigo, he done brilliant getting that goal. He was the one who put Real Madrid there back to light. And I just feel like once Real Madrid got that goal, Chelsea didn't seem the Chelsea side. I know they already had, I think it was one or two disallowed goals that beforehand too. Yeah. So they would have been buried to bed anyway. But Benzema, what a player he is! What a player! And
top scorer in the Champions League, isn't he?
Yeah, top goal scorer. I think he's already he's scoring a lot of goals even in La Liga as well. So I think when you have what helps him as well, that he's always had beforehand. He's always had players who were always standing out in front of Benzema. You've seen that, of course, Ronaldo, for instance, and you could never really get the true side of Benzema. But now he is that star man. He's getting that game week in, week out. He's getting played where he should be playing. You're seeing the best out of Benzema, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. And I would not be surprised now with this fight what Real Madrid have that will put them to the final.
Yeah, I think so too. Chelsea though, they went out on their shield, didn't they? It was a good performance from them as well, and you got to have your head held high, I think, as a Chelsea player because it seemed like it wasn't really going to go their way from before the game, and they put up a good battle.
Yeah, they really did put on a good battle, especially that second game in particular. They definitely did, and I already expected them to go out. So for them to score 3 goals in somewhere what looks basically done with, you've got to do nothing but praise Chelsea, and I think it was an absolute cracking tie, to be honest.
It was indeed. It was indeed. So they were 2 great games that we went through there. Brilliant from the Champions League from them 4. Why don't we? Do you want to read out some comments, Maisy? We got quite a few here.
Yeah, we do have quite a
Tuning
few comments indeed. Let's get them all up from the beginning. Hello there to Solo. I hope you're well. Thank you for tuning in. Hello there to Talk MU. Thank you for tuning in as well. Talk said that Athletic game was mad. The Chelsea was a top draw. I completely agree with that. We'll touch on a little bit more though, won't we, with that that City game in particular, because that was a fiery match. Let's just say.
Lot to talk about. That is our next game. We will delve into that. Yeah. Brilliant game.
Hello there to Niall. I hope you're well. Yep, Champions League game is back. Champions League show. Love it. Absolutely love it. Niall, if you're new and haven't already, smash the like and subscribe button, share the screen to Football United TV, and also subscribe to Devils United, which is my channel. Yep, all tanned up. Yeah. I promise you it's a real tan. It's not some beds like Matt thought beforehand. It's a real tan. Niall, being an epic Champions League shot by far, Villarreal beating Bayern. I hold my hands up and did say Bayern, but for me, Unai Emery deserves huge credit in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Unai Emery, top manager, honestly. Niall, Villarreal did really well beating Juventus en route, and now Bayern. Not sure if they'll do it again against on-form Liverpool. It was funny how we did touch on, obviously, the Juventus one for me as well, because the Juventus one, I actually thought was more 50-50 than it was full-on Juventus for me, just because of... we've seen that even Juventus are in decline at the moment, so... Juventus hasn't really done too good for me in the past couple of years, so I've seen it a lot more of a 50-50, but I definitely did write off Bayern Munich. But this is the beauty of cup competitions. It's about, I always say, it's about luck on the two legs. With leagues, it's about form, it's about injuries, blah 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 blah. But in terms of cup competitions, Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, it doesn't matter what it is. It is about luck coming into these games and how the other team turns up, if you agree, Matt.
No, I do. And that's the thing. I think we said this on our last show, didn't we? We said like no chance for Villarreal, but that we said at the end of it though, maybe, you never know. On it all depends on what happens on the day. And Villarreal, like I said, they went out there knowing that this is an aging Bayern Munich team, and this is their best chance of making a semi-final. I'm pretty sure Emery said before the game, look, we're halfway there. You know, just get one goal now, and it's all done. And of course, Bayern Munich got theirs, and then they got one back, and that was it. Well done to Villarreal, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Niall, talking of sackings, what's your thoughts on the news? Burnley sacked Sean Dyche. For me, it's bizarre and strange and poor timing. I'll touch on myself with terms of Sean Dyche myself. I do think it was a wrong decision. I think Sean Dyche is actually a really good manager. He can't help not getting backed by the board. You've seen that yes, they've got him a striker in January, but there is still a lot of room to improve. That team in itself is quite an aging team.
Yeah.
And the fact that he is still managing to, obviously apart from this season, to scrape past relegation with this Burnley side, it shows the kind of fight Sean Dyche really does have. You look at even the games in particular. If you look at the form of Burnley compared to the form around him of Norwich, Watford, they haven't actually lost nowhere near as many games. They're just drawing a lot of games. And that is, for me, it's because that they're lacking so much creativity. You're looking at like Tarkowski and Ben Mee, they're not looking like the same players, and this is what Burnley should be doing. They should be giving him at least a little bit more investment. So I think it's Burnley's fault why Sean Dyche was sacked, and you can't blame Sean Dyche for any of it. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I just think it's unfortunate for Sean Dyche. Been there for 10 years. I'm pretty sure he'll get a good job out of it, and I wish him all the best. I think he'll move on to better things. Maybe Bayern Munich will want him.
I'll be honest, I don't like the way Burnley play, but I think he's a good manager.
He is.
I dread playing Burnley.
He's done well with the tools he's been given, isn't he?
Yeah, they're like old rusty tools, and he just tries to get the best out of them. Hello there to Amande. I hope you're well. Thank you as well for the good mention about the points. Niall said, well said, Maisy, brilliant points regarding Bayern Munich. Thank you so much. Amande said, Zimmer, who got the keys to Benzema?
Real Madrid, they got the keys. They got the wages too.
Very true. Niall, for me, Chelsea was so unlucky. I felt sorry for Chelsea. Great game as a neutral. Brilliant fight back by Chelsea. Just wasn't to be, sadly. I'm not bothered Chelsea got out because I'm not that bothered. I want my prediction to be right. I want my prediction to be right. I want my money. I want my bet. Amanda, who said La Liga was dead when Messi and Ronaldo left? Two teams in the semi-finals. Yeah, I think with La Liga, for me, it was always about these two players, and I actually think probably La Liga has actually improved a little bit since both of them have left.
Yeah, it's made it so much more interesting in the league. Like, you look at the league table as well. It's not the way it's looked like that. It hasn't looked like that for a very long time. You've got Sevilla and Real Betis putting in a very good shift. I know Villarreal, of course, are still around 7th position in the
Real
league.
Real Sociedad even in 6th.
Right, yeah. So it has changed because of obviously the wage cap that they've got and the new rules that La Liga have implemented on especially the big clubs like Barcelona and Real Madrid. So I can only expect to see more exciting La Ligas in the future as well. So don't think just because they lost to the best in the world, and they're not probably right now, but at that time, yes, it's not gonna go downhill for them. Yes, money and sponsorships and people coming in and taking an interest around the world might have slipped a little bit, but I can only see more exciting players coming out from La Liga and getting their opportunities. And yeah.
And look what it's doing. And you're seeing a lot more young players now in La Liga than what we have used to see. You're looking at Gavi, Fernan Torres, Vinny Jr. You're seeing a lot more young players getting produced. And this is something what I haven't seen from La Liga for quite a long time too. Young, fresh talent.
Agreed. We got loads. Do you want to split up? Do you want to split these comments up a little bit?
Yes, sure thing.
I want to read it. I want to do this last one here. Thank you, Amondi. Thank you very much. Very, very kind of you. Very kind of you indeed. Actually, Maisy said that as well before we started the show. So thank you for noticing the haircut. So let's get into this one then, because I know in the comments people were talking about it. We will read the rest of the comments out. People do stay in the show right now. We will read them out. We will discuss it. And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Smash the like, share, subscribe, and go check out Devils United for Maisy, please. And go subscribe and share and like all her content if you can, please. Atletico Madrid 0, Man City 0. The result makes you think, boring game, nothing happened. That's not actually the case. Lots of tunnel fighting and people kicking up and down the pitch, head injuries, bandages around the head from Foden and Savage for Atletico Madrid, like losing his temper. What did you make of this game? I know Atletico Madrid, Maisy was saying they need to go out and be a bit dirty and a bit filthy. We talked about Diego Simeone's tactics. Even as a player, he was that sort of player, and now he's doing it as a manager. So what did you make of this game? It was actually probably more of a boxing fight, wasn't it, than a football game?
Yeah, saying that, of course, Atletico Madrid are a dirty side. I've definitely seen that. First game in particular for me as well. Well, if you look at Atletico Madrid altogether, their defensive play really did show out, and the dirtiness really did show out. There was actually a meme on social media that Savage stroked Grealish's hair one less time than Atletico Madrid has shot on targets. Stroked Grealish's hair twice, 3 shots on target in 2 legs.
Give us a like if you like that joke. Meme from Maisy.
Well, you look at it. Atletico Madrid has always been that type of team. They've always been that type of team at the end of the day, and it worked. It worked in La Liga last season. It's worked in the Champions League in the past. But for me, this is not this type of football. I really hate this type of football. Honestly, I can't. I hate it. I hate watching it. The way Atletico Madrid did come out, the way they played, what was they expect? How could they expect goals the way they were playing? How could they really expect that? Man City was getting fouled so many times. Grealish, he came on as a substitute in the second half, and in the first leg, he got fouled minimum 5 times in 20 minutes. 5 times. And
they had a game plan, didn't they?
Yeah. Phil Foden, for me, he was the difference between Man City going to extra time and winning this leg. I really do think that. And people probably will argue with me about this, but Manchester City without Phil Foden, Manchester City with Phil Foden are not the same Manchester City. Without Phil Foden in that team, I actually don't think Man City are nowhere near as good with him. I really do believe that. And I feel like Phil Foden has got to the point where he needs to be in that starting 11 lineup. His creativity, his pace, his goal scoring ability, his assisting ability, his crossing. He's got the perfect package here at Manchester City. He's got the perfect manager to help him take him forward. And him in that false 11, false 9, I think he's an absolute beast of a player. He has really shown. He's really shown that. You've seen in the second leg, they actually scored once he come on. And in this leg, they didn't even concede. They had a lot of shots at City, but I just think it was just ended up being good goalkeeping from Oblak.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. I think the way that Atletico won the La Liga last season as well was pretty similar. Tight, kept teams under wraps as well, and only went out for the goals when they can get them from like corners, and it works for him. Like it's an ugly style of football. I don't necessarily like it. I like to see attacking. We're Man United fans. We have like an identity of what we want to see, don't we, from our team? It's not quite the same with Atletico Madrid. They are known as the unlucky team in La Liga, and Madrid anyway as the capital city. So at the moment, I mean, winning leagues but not really getting that Champions League is what they really want, isn't it?
They've only won I think 2 leagues in 10 years under Simeone. I think they've won the Europa League. But if you look at like Simeone's trophy record for Atletico Madrid for the length of time he has been there, he hasn't particularly have done amazingly brilliant. Because you always know, right, okay, Champions League, La Liga, that's not always going to be guaranteed when you've got a Real Madrid and you've got a Barcelona. I know last season was the best because both the teams were declining, but you're not always going to guarantee that every single season. And this is why Simeone needs to concentrate on domestic cups. He needs to concentrate on all the other domestic cups in Spain to try and get as many trophies as he can. And when you do look at that, I just feel like he hasn't done that good for me. And I do question, is it because of the style of play, or I really do not know.
Well, I think, Maisy, with the circumstances of Real Madrid and Barcelona having terrific teams in the time that he's been at Atletico, it's been difficult for him to be able to play the same way and win. So I think he's had to do it differently. And it has paid off a couple of times. Like I say, in an era of 2 of the greatest players in the world playing at each club. And then don't take away that they had great teams as well, like Real Madrid with Bale, and you had you got PK and you got Xavi and Iniesta that was there as well. I mean, it was difficult for Simeone to be able to challenge against them two sides. So I guess he's just found a formula that works for him. And look, I'm pretty sure deep down, he doesn't like that kind of play anyway. But if your job is to win games, I guess no matter how you do it, if that's the way it's done and it works for you, then you've got to stick with your philosophy, haven't you? It's ugly, but at the end of the day, if you can lift a trophy at the end of it, you won't really look at it so much as being ugly, will you? You'll be very happy indeed. Okay, should we move on? Actually, you know what? Do you know what, Maisie? We should get through some of these comments, shouldn't we? Where were we? We were at Talk MU, weren't it? Yo, folks. Noel Kane, hello, Talks. I hope you're well. Yes, Papa, Talk Mum. So Talk MU. Yes, Amondi, the tactics done. Hey, Maisy and Matt from Jordan, from Jamaica. Big up, mate. Nice to see you in the house. Bet you're pretty happy, aren't you? Yes, Jordan, all the way from sweet Jamaica. Absolutely gorgeous place. Hey, Maisie, big out the Dugout Football Channel.
Hey, dog.
Please go check them out, please. Yo, Doug, house tricks, pal. Talk, I'm good, mate. How are you? Hello, Doug, mate. Great seeing you on the stream. Me and you were on earlier, mate. Yo, Talk, how are you, mate? Everyone's having a little chat, aren't they? This is nice. Yes, I'm good. Yo, no, I'm good, bro. Thanks. Hope you're well. Enjoying the weather. Maisie, I'll be truthful. Your tan is much better than mine's. I know I said to you on social media, mine's is mostly my arms and legs, my face. Glad you had a brilliant break. There you go. Yeah, mate, it's good. Love your cancer vid talks. It's great, mate. I lost a family member to a cancer good few years back. Still hits me, mate. But yourself and Maisie, who did cancer videos, you're both heroes. Yeah, honestly, Football versus Cancer is a new channel from Talk MU. Please go subscribe to it. It's really important. We're gonna have amazing things happening on the channel, man. And Talk's told me a lot about it, and I can only see very good positive things coming out of it, and lots of charity work as well, giving as well. So please go check it out, everybody. It's a huge risk by Burnley, who are clearly hoping for a new manager bounce to get them out of trouble, which might happen, but in a long term, I feel they have lost a great manager. I don't think Bayern Munich have been that great either this season, not been great domestically. Agree with that. I have to commend Benfica. They played very well in both legs versus us. I bloody love Darwin Núñez. That's a good shout, because we are going to go into that game, and we will do it now, actually, Maisie, the last game of the chat. If you are watching, please smash like now. There are quite a few of you viewing. Liverpool 3, Benfica 3, 6-4 in aggregate. And again, it's one of those ties where you thought Benfica probably out of this right now. But if they can go to Anfield and put in a good performance, especially like you said there, Núñez for Benfica, who's been linked to quite a few clubs. I know Man United have been linked as well. What did you make of this game, Maisie? I liked it. I enjoyed it. Very good game. Tight, but because of aggregate, kind of made it not so tight, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, when I was obviously away, I was watching all my football games at once, like a little kid in a candy shop. I had all three of my TVs right in front of me, watching them all. And this was actually Liverpool Benfica was actually the game what actually caught my eye the most. I actually thought, even though we've seen Villarreal do the impossible, even though we have seen the basically Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua at Atletico, you have literally this game for me just struck amazing. I thought it was brilliant. Benfica put on such a good fight. It was a shame, really, that they did concede the amount of goals what they did in the first leg, because if they come in how they did against at Anfield, I think that they would have actually had quite a good chance. Look at the Mags. It was conceding 4 goals against Liverpool. You will never really see that many teams who will concede 4 goals against Liverpool. You see the best teams who do that, like the Man Cities. You'd argue that you'd even see Chelsea doing it. Yeah, you would never predict the likes of Benfica. I'm not saying Benfica's a bad team, because they're a brilliant Portuguese team. You just wouldn't ever expect 4 goals to be conceded, and especially 3 just at Anfield. I actually do think though, Liverpool have quite they turned the pace off a little bit in terms of when they're at Anfield in the Champions League. You've seen it with Inter Milan, and you've seen it now with Benfica. That it just seems like, oh, we'll try and get the job done in the first leg. Then when it comes to the second leg, we'll be fine. We'll be a bit more comfortable, and that's how it seems like it has been for the past 2 Anfield games in the Champions League.
So
Not too sure why.
Are you saying that Liverpool may be a bit vulnerable? I know that the next fixture we will talk about the semi-finals. Is it best for Liverpool to play away on the second leg? Would you say then?
I actually think they have been playing a lot better away in the Champions League, in my opinion. But I do also look at the lineup. I believe Van Dijk didn't even play. Neither did Trent Alexander-Arnold in the second leg. But I actually wanted to praise. I wanted to praise a Liverpool player, Gomez. He actually. He hasn't had much game time, especially with Kanate coming in, Matip playing well. So he hasn't had that opportunity to play in that centre-back role like he did before his injury last season, because he was playing week in, week out alongside Van Dijk.
Yeah.
And the fact that he comes in as a right-back, that's probably not his preferred position, but I'd argue that he was actually better defensively in that right-back role than Trent Alexander-Arnold, because Trent Alexander-Arnold, for me, it's one of these kind of games where I do worry that the way he gives the possession away, if I was a Liverpool fan, I would worry that, because he's holding these records at this moment in time, that he's giving away the most possession away. He's giving away the possession 36 times in a game. And in them kind of respects, when you're playing in the Champions League, you always know it's about luck. So you're coming in, say if you come into a Villarreal team who is quite good defensively, or if you look into this, like, if they get to the final and they're playing a Man City or a Real Madrid, if you're giving away possession 36 times against these type of teams, they will punish you. They will absolutely punish you. And this is what I feel like, in a way, Klopp needs to look and identify that with Trent Alexander-Arnold, because it's gonna, when it gets later on, it's gonna cost him massively.
Do you know what? Yeah, and I pip Reece James at the moment ahead of him at right back. He's terrific going forwards and backwards, where I think Trent, like you said, can give away possession easily. He is fantastic going forward, but sometimes it doesn't work off, and he doesn't always make the right decision, and you can clearly see that. So 6-4, they're through. That's it, done and dusted. Hopefully Villarreal might be able to knock them out. We'll talk about the fixtures coming up. Do you want to read out some more comments, Maisy?
Yeah, that sounds absolutely good with me.
We was at Talk MU. Yes, Doug Nunes is a real prospect.
Yes, Doug Nunes is a real prospect. Hello there to Luca. Thank you for tuning in. Yep, Good Friday it is indeed. No meat for me today. Sticking to my religious purposes. Talk, yo, Luca. Doug, is anyone surprised about this? Atletico do it all the time. We need some shithousery tactics in football. Simeone is like this. Atletico should have scored in the last 30 minutes. I agree with that, because especially when it comes to the additional time, I think there's about 9 or something daft like that.
Yeah,
and they talk about like 2 shots then. Because I think they knew the time was running out for them and they needed to get that goal. But this is the thing with Atletico. Man City done it right in the respect that you can't allow Atletico Madrid to score first. Once they score first, they'll defend the entire game. Yeah. And knowing that Man City didn't give Atletico that opportunity to do that, that's what helped them get through to the other leg. And this is what other teams beforehand, like Manchester United, done exactly wrong. I even said that second leg at Old Trafford, because it was 1-1 at that time. What I said, I'd be happy coming in half time 0-0. I'd be happy with that half time. But what we need to do, get a goal early on, second half, and then that will crumble Atletico Madrid. But no, we've done the exact opposite. It cost us, and yeah. But I think even so, the refereeing wasn't even that bad for City, Atletico Madrid. They was given a lot of yellow cards. They had a couple of red cards. I think they're the team who's got the most red cards in the Champions League. Are you surprised? Are you surprised? Talk said, agreed, Doug. Niall said, for me, that suggests to me that it's a boring game. Man City got the job done in the end, and every time I watch Atletico, they are an arrogant team, and it's always a battle and a scrap. Delighted City will play Real Madrid. That will be interesting indeed. Hello there to Little Bucko. Thank you for tuning in. I
new
hope
one?
you are well.
You know Little Bucko?
I feel like I do know Little Bucko. I feel
Big
like
up.
Niall, agree with you, Doug. 100%. Talk. It's time for Simeone to move on. He has clearly hit the ceiling at Atletico. What do you think about that one there, Matt?
Maybe he's got a really nice home in Madrid. He just doesn't want to leave. Like he loves. Like maybe I don't know. It's all I can think. Like because surely there's been clubs sniffing around him. Surely to say like maybe we should give him a chance. And if he like, maybe would he change his like tactics at another club if he got given the money? I mean, I look at people like Newcastle and places like that right now that might be looking at a potential manager like him. Not the style that he's playing, but maybe to back him in order for him to be able to play a style that maybe he does want to play. Maybe that, like I said, maybe the only reason he's playing like this with Atletico Madrid is because he's only working with the tools that he's got with other teams in La Liga who are very, very attacking, and it's the only way that he can play against them. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think I agree with Talk. I think he's hit a ceiling, but I only think he's hit a ceiling because I don't think there's much else he can do with Atletico Madrid. But I think there's more for him as a manager, maybe somewhere else. I'd like to see him in maybe Serie A next, at somewhere like Juventus or something like that, maybe.
Do you think he could do it at Juventus?
I think he'd change his tactics. I don't think he'd be quite the same, unless Juventus, as a club, are trying to approach Serie A differently. I know they're not doing very well in Serie A this season, so that could be potentially a good move for him if he wants to move, of course. But I think he's probably happy around palm trees and pools in Madrid.
So was I for 10 days, so I know how it feels.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello, yo, Little Bucko from Talk. Little Bucko, yo. Niall, hello, Little Bucko. Talk. Foden is a wonderful player. He really is. Yep, I 100% agree with that. Probably for me, probably the best player, young player in the league. Maybe.
Yeah.
Why do I have to credit City and Liverpool? Why?
I'd say him and Gallagher. Yeah.
Little Bucko, you good, Niall. Doug, Simeone would be box office in the Premier League, but highly unlikely he comes to the Premier League. Yeah, I can't see him come to the Premier League either, though, to be fairly honest. I think he'll be happy. I think he would go to Serie A. Maybe he might even go to France. He might want to test himself there. Yeah, I think he might potentially want to do that, but I don't know. Especially if he doesn't change his tactics, I don't think them tactics are going to work in the Premier League. I really don't.
Maybe not.
No. Niall, yeah, Little Bucko, all good. Hope you're well. Little Bucko, all good, mate. Nice one. Niall, if Simeone was to come to England, which team do you think he'll manage?
Well, I said Newcastle or maybe Chelsea would be like maybe a club for him. They seem like Chelsea seem like the club that would take Diego Simeone. I don't know why. I mean, maybe that was because Roman Abramovich probably would have liked him, but maybe it's different now with potentially new owners. We will talk about that on Monday, by the way, people, for the Football Politics show, which is very interesting. But yeah, what do you think?
It's a hard one, to be honest, and I think that a team, what I think could potentially work could be Wolves with
Do you
how
agree with
defensive they are.
Do you agree with little Bucko here?
Funny though, funny.
Yeah, I
No,
hear
but it
that.
could work.
I hear he's really attracted to Burnley. The beautiful weather in Burnley, haven't they? In December, he's looking
Oh yeah,
forward. Looking forward.
yeah. Talk. Chelsea are playing the benchmark in terms of away tactics. The way played Real was awesome, and playing 3-2-5 at times was fantastic to watch. But Real Madrid had that 1 to 2% more in terms of quality. I agree with that. Niall, guys, thoughts on Rangers hitting the semi-final of the Europa, beating Braga. As you both know, I am Scottish. That's brilliant for Scottish football and the Scottish game. I actually did predict Rangers to get through actually to the semi-finals. I actually did predict that myself. I didn't think they'd go further with the team that they're going to be playing against, but I think it's brilliant for Rangers. They're beating their own record again. I think they're a very good pressing team, and they are quite successful in Europe. And you've got to give praise to Giovanni, who is their manager at this moment in time, for taking on straight after Steven Gerrard and still managing to do well out of this team, because really this is Steven Gerrard's team. He hasn't really had much to do with it. He's had, of course, Ramsey coming in, but he hasn't had like that true proper summer transfer window to make the team how he wants. So the fact that he's managed to get the best out of this team, I think it's brilliant. What do you think, Matt?
I think it's good, and just thinking about this at the moment as well with Villarreal in Champions League. If they win the Champions League, Villarreal, I mean, I'm going to say Celtic because they're at the top of the league at the moment in the Scottish League. They will miss out on the Champions League. So Rangers, if they win Europa League, could be the Scottish club to get in the Champions League if Villarreal win the Champions League. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Right. So it's good for Rangers. Really is semi-final as well, and they could potentially be facing West Ham. We are live actually, I think at 5:30 with Charlie, who's doing the Europa League and Conference League review show today at 5:30. So do tune in for that. He will delve into it more. Let's go on with the comments, Maisie. Let's move on. We've only got a few left.
Talk MU, good luck to the girls. Little Bucko, so happy for Rangers. Me, can't lie. So happy they got through. Yeah, I'm happy for Rangers as well. More British teams coming through. I won't say English because I won't say British. Niall, hello Luca. Sorry I missed you in the live chat. Niall, Liverpool for me. Just done enough. Benfica did put a fight. Darwin Núñez, great player, has been linked to a few clubs. Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle, Brighton, and West Ham, I believe. That's a lot of teams. That is a lot of teams. Doug, yes, glad I'm not the only one who has noticed. Gomez has been playing really well recently. Yeah, he has been playing brilliantly, and I think what has helped him is the fact that he hasn't had that game time for quite a while. He wants to come in, he wants to prove himself, and coming into this kind of position, doing well, I think he's done brilliantly for me. Yeah. Anyway, it's much better than Milner in the right back. I think that maybe that didn't need to consider maybe doing a development plan for Gomez to maybe put him as a replacement right back for Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think that could be a pretty good shout for me.
Possible.
Yeah, another player who has stepped up there for Liverpool too, which I completely agree with.
Yeah, he's been great.
Yes. Little Bucko. Yep, I thought it was you, Chris. Good to see you. Good to see you, mate. I hope you're well. I know two Little Buckos, so I was always thinking, is it you or is it you? But I know it's you. So
what's the chances of that, Maisie, knowing two Little Buckos? I mean, that's very rare, isn't it? That
I know it's rare. It's rare.
I don't know one. I don't. And you know two.
Yeah.
I know one. I know one now, though. Thank you, Little Bucko.
Niall, Mason Mount is a great player. Maisy knows.
Top
Yeah, he
draw.
is a good player. Niall, yeah, he signed Aaron Ramsey on loan and Diallo on loan from Man United, who hasn't had a look in sadly. Hopefully plays more between now and the end of the season. Like example, Hearts, Dundee United, Motherwell, who's battling for Europa, who are in top 6, competitive in top 6, if you rule out top 3.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in today. We are about to wrap it up. And thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you can subscribe, it means so much. And of course, please go check out Devils United Maisy's channels. Amazing, has great guests on there. And if you could just take a little peek for us and press that red button, it would mean so much to both of us. Thank you so much, everybody. Semi-finals, first leg fixtures. Here we go. Just to update you, everybody, what's happening. Man City versus Real Madrid, Tuesday, the 26th of April. And Liverpool versus Real Madrid, which is right. Yeah. No, yeah. I've done that completely wrong. Way! Sorry, it's Liverpool versus Villarreal on the 27th of April. My mistake. I'm obviously got Real Madrid on the brain. I am going to Madrid in a few weeks, and it just seems to be on the brain at the moment. My apologies, everybody. It is Villarreal on the 27th of April. So we got Man City versus Real Madrid, Tuesday 26th, and Liverpool versus Villarreal on the 27th of April. I guess Villarreal's Real. See, it's all Real.
Well, Spanish and English dominance in Europe.
It is indeed, isn't it? Little Bucko, just to finish it off, says, all good, enjoying the channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Maisy, thank you so much for coming and hosting with me again. I'm loving La Ligue des Champions with you. We do some really good chats. We go through it very well, and we always finish up on a great time as well, because we're very good at doing this, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I really enjoy doing the show with you. It's very rare I see Champions League shows like this as well, so it's been absolutely great. I absolutely love doing a show with you, Matt.
Love it with you too, Maisy, and we are going to be doing the Champions League final, right? Live watch along. Still on for that. Brilliant. Yep. Can't wait. So everybody, make sure you're here for that, and we will be back for the first leg roundup of the Champions Leagues on the Wednesday, the 27th of April. So stay tight for that, everybody. Maisy, once again, tell everybody where they can find you at your amazing channel, which is in your description, of course.
My YouTube channel, it's Devils United there. I do content for Manchester United, both the men and the women's football. I've took a little bit of a break because I've been on holiday, but I'll be back live again on Monday for the biggest game of the season, Liverpool preview, which is that going to be good? I don't know, but I've got brilliant guests on and I'm really looking forward to it. So, yeah, and I'm on the road to 600 subscribers, as I know it's been mentioned in the chat before. So, thank you so much. And everyone go and subscribe to Football United TV. Brilliant channel.
Thank you, Maisy. Wow, 600. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And you got the Women's European Championship that's being held in England this year. So you're going to be...
I will be doing as many watch-alongs as I can. So all the... what I'm going to try and do all the countries who are Manchester United players playing, because we've got England, got Scotland, got Republic of Ireland, we have got Denmark, we've got Netherlands, we've got Norway as well. So I want to try and do as many as I can with the Manchester United players. So we're still representing Manchester United in that respect. Yeah. And plus, which is even good, I'm actually going to 2 actual Euro games.
There you go.
I'm watching them live.
Fan cams, maybe, yeah?
I'm going to be doing vlogs anyway, that's for sure. I'm actually going to the opening game of the season, England versus Austria at Old Trafford.
Nice. Look at you. Look, doing all this amazing stuff. What are you doing for the rest of your weekend? The Easter weekend, everybody. I hope everybody's having a glorious one. It's a beautiful Friday if you are situated in the UK. Maisy, what's the plans now then for the rest of the weekend?
For me, I'm gonna relax, have a bit of a break. Might have a nice game on my PlayStation, because I've actually got a PlayStation 5 recently, so I'm gonna probably go on a bit of that as well.
I'm gonna have a brew dog or two or three.
Well, yeah, you love your brew dog.
Other drinks are available, of course. But yes, everybody, we are finishing up now. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already and you're reluctant to do it, promise you the energy won't take too much if you just press subscribe and like and share if you can. No worries if you don't. Very happy to have you all in here. One more comment. Question for Maisy. Thoughts on the women's shortlist for players of the month year? Go for it, Maisy.
It depends on if you was talking about the WSL or if you meant as in the whole of Europe. Because for me, in terms of who we've got in the WSL, we have got Sam Kerr, we've got Vivian Miedema, we have Ella Tu, we've got Alessia Russo. We have a load of very good players there who is a contender for player of the season at the WSL. Will probably end up going to an Arsenal or Chelsea player. I mean the Scottish players.
Is he winding you up?
Scottish player. You mean like Erin Cuthbert, I'm sure, but Erin Cuthbert's a very good player. I'm not too sure she'll be up for month or the year though, but she gets a couple of game time at Chelsea. We've got, of course, Martha Thomas, who plays for United, who is a good striker too. So, yeah, they've got brilliant players in the Scottish team, and I think that they are going. I think the thing is because of what's going on in terms of Russia. I'm obviously going to take away from that. So they need to have another team in there because they're going to kick Russia out. So I think they're looking at doing whoever was second place in the playoffs, and if that was the case, Scotland will go through.
Yeah. Fair play. Great show,
Thank
folks.
you,
Maisy, so proud of you, chick. Hitting 600, mate. Honestly, Maisy's channel is amazing. I cannot say highly enough how amazing it is. Honestly, really, really is great content. And you're a sucker if you don't go and watch it and subscribe. Honestly, support Maisy because she really does deserve it. We are finishing off now. Go enjoy your Easter weekend, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Smash like, subscribe, share if you can. We'll see you again at 5:30 today with Charlie and Anthony talking about Europa League and Conference League. That's at 5:30 p.m. today. So make sure you tune in. Until then, let's go and get in the sun, I think, Maisy. Probably not for you, but definitely for me.
I've got a jumper on for a reason.
Yeah, she's had too much sun. But everybody go and enjoy it, okay? And we'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.